You are now listening to the Ja and Fa Show. Ja and Fa Show. Now listening. You are now listening to the Ja and Fa Show.
Let's do it. We're here. We are here. You know, better late than never. I think that's what they say. Drake officially said it on the record. Fa, Monday night, not our normal night. I don't think we've ever recorded a Monday night pod. How are you?
Dude, I'm feeling weird. I feel I have great morale, of course, but you know, it's different. Yeah, we've talked about it before. The morning pods are different than the late pods. However, I am still keeping up the morning tradition. It's 6:58 currently, and I do have a cup of Joe with me.
I like that. I like the dedication. I went the opposite route. I went Monday night is for recovery. I need a bottle of water. Then I just need to keep chugging through this day.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta chug through the day. It's crazy too. We were just kind of talking about it. Like, it's crazy now because like you were just saying, you've been working a lot. It's crazy not talking to you every day. So I feel like when we do come over to these meetups, essentially with all our friends who listen, it's just like a big hangout session. It's like,
It is,
man, haven't seen you in a while. What's up?
And if you go back to the earlier pods, you will constantly hear me be saying, dude, I haven't talked to you in forever. When in reality, it was probably a day or two, maybe. But it's the ebbs and flows of life. Like, I went from doing nothing all the time and being able to just be like, hey, whenever the fuck you got time, let's fucking do something, to now I'm busy every Tuesday to Saturday night, and I miss a lot of the good morale, man. But I'm still there in spirit.
No, of course. And I still appreciate you always hop on the stream even while you're working. But actually, funny story. I forget if I told you this already. This probably happened like last week or so. But, I was just in my feels one night and I was talking to Allie and I was like, I really miss Tabor being able to just hop on the stream and just play video games whenever. I was like, it was really nice when it lasted. And I forget exactly her comment, but she was like, you just don't like working, Tabor, do you? And I was like, you know what? I guess I don't. I guess I don't like working, Tabor.
Yeah, you know what? And I agree. I don't like working Tabor in a way either, because I do miss those. It's the little things. It is,
Hey.
again, like I did do a little. I did a Kramer pop in. I popped in on Friday night to the stream. I said what's up and went back to my shift.
Yep, I loved every second of it. You were only there for a few short seconds, but it was beautiful. And we had a good time on Friday. Played a lot of games.
Yeah, nice. My Friday was hectic, as usual. Fridays and Saturdays are for me. Fa was asking earlier, we were talking off pod, but I wanted to bring it on pod about customers who get too into ping pong.
Yes.
I work at a bar that you play ping pong at. It is very fun, but with anything, when alcohol is involved, it people get too competitive. And I will tell you that not only people don't flip out or anything, but it's like it's like when you're playing Madden with your buddies. Like, sometimes you throw a controller through a TV.
Yeah,
sometimes that happens, and like people bang their fucking paddles on the table. It's annoying as hell, but like managing through it, just going through it.
Now, have you ever had to get in between, like an altercation between two people or anything?
Thankfully, no. Although I will say, when I was commissioner of the ping pong league that Spin ran, which it's supposed to be a social league where you have fun and it's like a fun thing. Mm-hmm. And it, of course, just turned into a fucking meat fest of guys who just want to dominate the whole thing. It's like, I get that you and your 5 friends are really good and all you guys are met playing ping pong, so you're really good, but it's not fun for the fucking league when you win every single game. Like, I had to create teams for these people, and everyone complained to me because they weren't with their friends. But the point of the league is it's a social league. Whoa, big ding. It's a social league, so you're supposed to be socializing with others, which was never understood.
No, and that was actually going to be my follow-up question, was going to be, are there people who show up every week or whatever that just take it too seriously? Because it reminds me, we used to go to this bar. I forget what the bar was called, but every Wednesday they'd have a pong tournament and 5-cent beer. So we would go, and at this pong tournament, like keep in mind, this was like like scummy just bar. Like if you're selling 5-cent beer, you don't know what's going in that, but it was good and we did it. And anyway, they would have a little pong tournament on the side. They had 2 tables set up, classic pong. And every time we went, or almost every time, there was at least like 2 teams that showed up and just took it so dead seriously. And like, they wouldn't be drinking or anything. And like, they'd be like just draining every shot. Like, yeah, nice game, nice game. Like every game was a business game. It's like, bro, we're here to just get fucked up and play some pong. Like, why do you have to do this every week? And they're just blowing everyone out of the water. It's like not even fun. So anyway, that long-winded story was all about, because I'm sure people do that at ping pong at your place.
No, they didn't. Like I said, like I remember these 2 guys were like having a fucking argument over whether the serve was legal or not. And like,
jeez,
it's essentially the serve that imagine you had a serve that had enough spin that would bounce over the net and then come right back over the net. And then it would essentially, the point is to like almost hit the net again so that the person can't even return it. But like if someone's doing this serve, it's, in my opinion, it's pretty typically easy to recognize. I mean, the first time you're hit with it, it's going to be a surprise, but like they go back to it, it's not a surprise. Yeah. My ruling was that it's a dick move and you shouldn't do it, but it's a serve and you got to roll with it. And they were bickering at each other, and that's what these people would love to do, bicker.
So when you're the commissioner, though, are you like the final say? Like, are you essentially the ref?
Yes.
So you had to call that play.
Yeah, I did, and I made my call.
And what did you end up calling? A good serve?
I called it good, and if you have an issue, you talk it out amongst each other.
Fair.
Take it out to the fucking alley by Gold Club and fucking do it back there, because I don't give a shit.
It's crazy, like you live this secret ping pong life, like on the side.
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you said that, because today I was like fucking freaking out in my car. I was driving into the thrift store, and while I'm driving, what do I see on Route 70? A badminton and ping pong club.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you stop by?
So I didn't stop by today because I didn't have my paddle or anything, but I definitely will make a trip over there. Maybe I'll see if they have a league.
Okay. Oh, dude, you should. Would you join it?
Yeah, I think I'd be like probably like I'm good, but like there are a lot of people who, I mean, you could say this with anything. Like I'm better than the average Joe. Anyone that comes into spin, I can beat 95% of the people that come to spin.
Now, I was just gonna say, do you have to just go in and show some people up sometime? Like if they're like, you can't beat us, you're like, pull out your paddle.
I'm so glad we were going down this, because actually just on Friday, we were really, really busy, and it was one of those nights where, okay, so essentially the way spin works is it's a reservation-based systems with walk-ins. It's essentially like any restaurant. You have walk-ins and you have reservations. If you make a reservations, you prepay. It's the same amount. You prepay, but there's only a certain limited amount of space or whatever, this, that, the other. But if you walk in, you can walk in and potentially get a table as well, but you run the risk of there already being people walking in and there being a wait list. It was a particularly busy night, and some nights when it's busy, if it's 10 o'clock and we have a 5-person wait list or whatever, and our entire books are full with reservations, sometimes it'll seem like there's open tables for people to play on, and there's no one going there, and they're like, people just drunkenly walk up and they're like, there's an open table there, like at a you're like, that table's open, why aren't we sitting there? We're 2 people, can we be the 2 people there? That's not how it works. Ew. There's a whole list. So this kept happening, and it just reached this one point where there were these people here. My manager comes up to me and she was like, these people at table 1 are like talking all shit, just saying like, they're like, oh, I bet, like stupid. Like my manager wasn't mad or anything. She was like, these people at this table are like talking shit, saying fucking like, no one, do you guys even have anyone good here? I bet I could beat anyone in this place. They didn't have a table or whatever. And then my manager was like, go over there real quick and put him in his place.
Your manager sicked the dog on him.
Sunned them 11-2. Sunned them.
And
Sunned
what
them.
do you say? What do you have to say after that? Anything? Nothing.
Just nothing.
Nothing.
Couldn't say. It was one of those things. It's really funny. I could tell by like 4 or 5 points in that his body language changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it went from like he saw the first couple hits. He's like, okay, maybe I could have a chance. And then like we got a couple points in. He saw my serve and he was like,
No way.
I'm just gonna lose. Like,
Now, how are you ranked? How are you ranked play wise between the other employees, like your coworkers? Like mid, high, low?
definitely high. It's we used to have a staff of 60 people, and when it was at that point, I probably was in like below like the fifth best person or so. So I was like high-ish, but like not like the best of them all.
Yeah.
Now we have a lesser staff right now, but we have a few good players. I'm definitely in that top 3 players, right? Like I'd say that the top 3 players are interchangeable on any given day.
Jeez, I love that. I love that your manager is so confident. Yeah, like, yo, show him the sauce real quick.
I sauced the shit out of that guy. And then actually the next night, Saturday night, we had a party and it was a Sweet 16. And it was
No.
it was about they had a 2-hour party. And about an hour of the way through, we brought out like a tournament board for them to play ping pong with, and they needed 2 extra people. So me and Devin actually joined the tournament. So I played the first round with a regular paddle that they hand out at spin. I beat whoever, some innocent 16-year-old girl. I 11-0 her. You know, you just.
Did you even try to like, hey, here you go? Or
no. I thought about that like the second point. I was like, wait, am I supposed to be nice here, or am I gonna win this? And then I instantly flipped the switch. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be the villain of this tournament. So then like I'm like getting the crowd hyped and shit, man.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So then, how about the next round?
So the next round I played Devin actually. And then what do I pull out? A tiny ping pong paddle. It's like a quarter of the size of a regular ping pong paddle.
Don't even tell me you won.
Oh, hold on. I just got a phone call. What the heck? Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. No, we're good.
What's going on?
Now Donda's playing. What's going on right now?
Donda, what song?
It just started from the beginning. That was the strangest sequence of events ever. I'm gonna chop that out.
Are you having a little technical ghost right now?
Yeah, I got a phone call and then it started playing the music for some reason after. Very strange. We were talking about the small paddle.
So you start using the small paddle with Devin, and did you win? Like you actually used this?
Yeah, so I had the very small paddle when I was playing Devin, and you know, it was one of those things where it took me a few points to get used to it, but then once you get used to where the sweet spot is, it obviously becomes easier after a few points. I think it might have been 4-4 at one point in me and Devin's game, and then like I smoked him.
Oh my! And wait, now what do you mean you pulled out the small paddle? Do you carry this with you just in case?
No, this is at a paddle that is at work because we had a small table, but we do have a pro that works there that will use a small paddle. Like he has his own, and he like put a new rubber on it and stuff. It's nice. I might have to take that one and put a new rubber on it and call it mine.
Dude, so what happened the rest of the tournament? You played Devin, smoked him. How many more rounds was there?
So I was debating on what my next paddle would be for the next round. And I have played in the past with a server tray. But the thing about the server tray is that low key, it's an advantage for me. So I don't use it because I think it's funny, but it's actually an advantage. Because think about it. Think about how big of a surface area a server tray is. Even the small one is triple the size of a surface area of a ping pong paddle. So I was like, ultimately, I feel like it's not really fair. Although it would be laughs. It would be funny.
Yeah.
What did the kid use?
I knew it. I was going to guess your phone. I was going to guess it.
For the final 2 rounds, I used my iPhone 13.
My God, no respect.
And I actually, it was funny because the semifinals, I actually played the dad of the party. So the semifinals was the finals. The semifinals was the finals, and I sunned him with my phone. I
Come
had to.
on,
I
come
did.
on.
It was more of
You
a game than the others. I think it was like 6 to. I think I won like 11-6 or 7, but like he could not handle my serve,
and
man.
we're all the kids, let's go, Dad, and you no mercy with your
Yep.
phone.
Yep. 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 So I had to do it to him. I had to do it to him.
Why couldn't you at least let him pretend that? Like here, man. Here's $10, and just let me get a couple points. No.
No. Well, I will say afterwards,
That's
he
so
was
funny.
like very happy. He was like, he said like 5 different times, he's like, this guy beat me with his iPhone. This guy beat me with an iPhone 13. I'm like, that's so funny, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad you think it's as funny as I do.
You know, that is cool that he was such a good sport about it, because in reality, that's a really funny story to tell. Like, if he had a podcast, imagine him bringing that up on a podcast. Like, dude, I went to this ping pong bar with a bunch of 16-year-olds, thought it was going to be pretty lame. All of a sudden, this guy comes out with an iPhone 13 and just beats everyone.
Yeah, it was fun, man. And the finals, I pulled out the phone again. I was thinking again about like I was like trying to conjure something up real quick in my head to be like, could I pick something else out to like play with? But I was like, the phone's already hard enough. Like
Yeah.
it's hard playing with it. But I will say that like I said, the finals was the semifinals. The dad was very good as opposed to the 16-year-old girl that I played in the next round. But I made one of the best ping pong plays I've ever made. It was one of those where like if you've seen it ever tennis, or even you just know, like, I mean, how it goes. Like I ran back from the left side to the right side, back to the left side, back to the right side again. It was one of those where like my feet just didn't stop moving or sliding for the entire point, and I just kept
Holy.
getting my phone / paddle, whatever you want to call it, in the perfect spot, and just kept just letting it hit the phone and just go right back.
Not trying to do too much with it, just a nice hit.
Well, I always say to people for learning ping pong, you want your opponent to make the mistake. You can take your opportunities when you can, like you want to hit a nice shot when you can, but for the most part, it's about just like maintaining the point and letting them hit the ball over the side or hit the ball into the net. Like, it's a very psychological game. Okay.
I know the listeners of this pod don't know this, but let the record show, me and Ja were texting the other day, and he had the nerve to tell me, and I quote, "I have nothing to bring this week."
Well, to be fair, I will say that I did say that I think on Thursday, and
That's
this all
true.
happened this weekend for what it's worth. But of course, I did. It was funny. I think on Thursday, I did think of things, and I don't know. I don't think I wrote anything down necessarily, but it's you do every week. You go into it, you're like, I have nothing, and then you have
Yep.
real
Dude.
quick for anyone watching. I know not a lot of people watch, but that's me with the tournament board.
Oh my, can you post that on the John Fa?
Absolutely.
That's amazing. That happy 16th birthday, Amanda. It says at the top. And then there's Tabor pointing at his first place, winner of the whole tourney. Huge smile for the listeners out there by Tabor. These pictures will hopefully be posted on the John Fa Instagram, so you should go check that
I'll
out.
post them. Yeah, I'll make sure to post them. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good.
That's
Again,
amazing.
you don't go to work to not make money. I work hard, and I like to have fun at work, and that was definitely a fun night.
Dude, that's amazing. Very well said, man. I know I was a little 50-50, but I'm happy you just schooled them all. I think they needed a reality check. And
dude, no, go on.
I was just gonna finish that up with just saying, I feel like you going in there and smoking them makes for such a good story for not only the dad, but just everyone there. Like, they're gonna be like, dude, this 16, the Amanda's party the other day was insane. This guy was like just schooling everyone, like like in school or whatever, like when they go.
Well, here, I'll even tell you this, something that I think you would especially appreciate is that after I won the finals, the crowd's going wild, and legitimately they were chanting my name. They were chanting
they were
my name.
not. Dude, your life is a movie. Literally, the last pod you're telling us about Action Bronson getting you in on that song,
Yeah, it's been a good last couple of weeks. But yeah, they were chanting my name, and then one of them, like, or two of them, shoved phones in my face like it was a interview after the game.
And you gave one, please.
They were
Thank
like,
God.
where'd you find the inspiration to get that win or whatever? I was like, I dug deep. I dug as deep as I could for that one. I had a lot of grit.
You weren't a Ben Simmons about it. I didn't. You didn't even need to tell me. I know you gave a full, in-depth, detailed discussion about what happened.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, they get you frazzled though. Like I always said it. Like after you can't be asking people what they did in the third quarter with 7 minutes to go after their game. Their brains are fried, man. It's just the
Yeah,
my adrenaline was going. I don't care that I beat a bunch of fucking 16-year-olds in ping pong. I was fucking hype as shit.
you won the tournament, dude.
I smoked those. I smoked them. It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. You know what's actually funny? You just reminded me of a heroic story I had this past weekend. So, as I talked about last pod, I did go to a wedding in Atlantic City, right?
Oh my
And
god, dude, how have I not talked to you? Fucking life has been blowing us away. What the
I
how
know,
have I not talked to you since then?
I know, it's been. I know it's already over a week ago, which is insane. I don't even feel like
Yeah.
I've been here for a week. But besides that, so went to this wedding, right? Excuse me, and I started drinking around like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Shout out Jen. Me and Jen were taking some shots, having some drinks. But yeah, so we go to this wedding and they have an open bar. So point of the story is I got pretty drunk by the end of the night. And right before the wedding was over, they actually had cornhole set up, like right outside of the reception. It's inside, it's in a hotel, but it's right there. So of course I was like, dude, we gotta play. So, me, Allie, and my two cousins started playing, and like we were playing, but then it just kind of got like derailed and everyone kind of walked away. We never finished the game. And all of a sudden, like everyone was leaving. So I was kind of bummed out. I was like, yeah, I kind of wanted to play a little cornhole. Well, then these two guys come up, right? Big beards, maybe around their 30s, like younger guys, but a little bit older. Come up to us. Oh, there's cornhole. Anyone want to play? Anyone want to play? And I said to Allie, I was like, you want to play against these guys? And she said, yeah. So these guys came up fully expecting they were gonna like whoop us, I feel like. Because like throughout the game, the guy next to me is taking it all seriously, like he'll throw it and he's like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't get it, blah blah blah, like getting all like serious about it, right? Anyway, we're going to 11. Me and Allie are down 7-6, right? We're down 1. This guy goes, he's making jokes about himself. He's like, ah, man, it's all up to you, man. And, I go, and I'm not even listening to him. Throw the first bag, hits the board, slides right into the hole. That's 3. One more point needed to win it. No, well, I needed a 3 to win it. Anyway, next one, I I start stepping forward, trip. My feet get tangled up for real this time, not like the joke I did the other day. My feet get tangled up. I throw the bag in the air and like literally trip, swoosh. Did not hit any of the board, and I'm not even close to kidding you. When I tell you I went, ah, like screamed at the top of my lungs. But dude, this was so hype. And Allie and the other guy on the other side's like, holy shit, dude. And this guy said he wasn't good. And I was like, I'm not good. But that was just my drunk, tripping powers just came. Like like in a video game where like if you're like shooting a basketball and the thing goes back and forth and it's like you have to get it right in the middle.
Yeah.
As soon as I released, it was like, perfect throw.
And for that case, especially with you falling over, it was like, how like when you get a really good opportunity, the bar is like way bigger for you to hit. That
Yeah.
one was like a pea size, and you still drained it.
Like Tabor, I wish I was lying. Like this is 100% true. Like this thing just went right through the hole. Like it was insane. It was insane. And
We have some good falling stories on this podcast.
I love them. I actually have to tell you, I don't want to harp on it too much because I can already creep it coming on me. But I did rewatch the TikTok of your Patco story.
That's a
when you
legendary
fell.
story, man.
Oh man, such a goodie, such a good. How has the Patco been? No, nothing crazy. Everything's been tame?
No, I think no news is good news for me on that front. But I
This is
will say
true.
I have a Paco Scambone alert, which is that if you ever take the Paco every day with someone, or even any train really for that matter, you can just buy one card and use that instead of every day you both spending the money on getting through the gates. So now me and my brother will, if we ever go in at the same time, we'll go together through with one ticket instead of us both paying to go through.
Wow, that felt like a sponsorship.
A sponsorship of us just giving out scams.
I don't know, dude. It sounded inspiring, but hey, it sounds brilliant. You know, I've been dying to take the Patco recently. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's just always fun.
I argue that it used to be cozier when it had the old trains. Now they're all new and fancy. It just doesn't have the same feel on there anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, you've been on the old ones and the new ones. I think you just didn't quite notice.
Maybe I didn't
if I showed you pictures of the old ones, you'd immediately be like, I remember being drunk going to Fez in those a million times.
Right. No, you're right.
I gotta go back real quick. One time, real quick, not gonna go into a whole thing on this, but we do fall a lot on this. I don't think I told you this, but one time, it was actually one of the first weekends back at Spin. I had a table that was playing, and you ever okay, so we've talked about falling. You ever know you're falling when you're falling? Like you're very conscious of it. Like it's almost happening in slow motion.
Yeah, I would say that would happen for a big fall.
I didn't have necessarily a big fall, but I had one of those moments where like I saw this woman was playing ping pong and I was like dropping something off and coming back to walk out from behind her. And she took a step back while she was playing and my foot was already moving and like coming up. So my foot was like, I could see that I was tripping before it happened. So like
Wow.
my mind was already like, you're going to fall, man. So I started to fall but I made a complete meal out of it and I went with it and I like rolled twice on the ground and then threw my arms and my legs up in the air like a cockroach.
I guess we really do we fall over a lot. Maybe our center of gravity is not exactly where it needs to be.
It's not as good as I thought it was because I thought I had pretty good balance.
That's so funny. Dude, I feel like we've been talking about a lot of heroics recently, you with the ping pong and me with the cornhole. I want to tell you a little comeback story that's been going on in the background for like a week or two. So if you guys are longtime listeners of the pod, I'm sure you've heard of Lenny, my lime tree, who we got the exact same day the very first pod was filmed. And, he blossomed, he gave us limes, it was great morale. Then all of a sudden the fall started coming around and his leaves started getting yellow, falling off, looking super dead. And I've been super upset about it. And we really didn't know what to do. And then a couple weeks ago, man, in the middle of like his main like root that comes out of the ground, this little leaf came out. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Next day there was like 3 little leaves. And now like the whole middle, like there's still like the dead leaves around them, but the middle is starting to turn all green and these leaves are coming in. And like, dude, just so cool to see. Like I've never been a plant guy in my entire life. Like I always thought it was like, whatever, but it's so cool to watch like life move like that. It's interesting. It's like this thing was like Lenny was dead. Like he was pronounced dead on the table. He was getting like the beep. But then all of a sudden, Dr. Moffat came in and said, do it one more time. They and now here he is.
Dr. Moffat.
You like that? Is that a nice ring?
No, that was good.
Dr. Moffat. But yeah, dude.
I love to hear that, man. Lenny is the true OG mascot, I would say, of the John Fa pod. So I'm glad the official lineage is still rolling with him.
Yeah, I mean, we actually even have a logo. Shout out Purple Moose, who did make a logo for Lenny, which we haven't used, but it's nice to have.
It never happened, man. I know you were a busy man when you were home, but if we could have carved out that half hour, I can't go alone. I'm putting that on record.
Putting it on record.
I'll take Joey. I'll take Joey Small Engine.
What's his full name? Joey Small Engine.
Small Engine.
That's so funny. Dude, one last thing I wanted to mention before I forget about this weekend, actually. The only other, not the only other, but another significant thing that happened was on Friday, I actually had the opportunity to meet up with Mac and Craze and Fish and a bunch of the fun lumps down there. And, at the end of the night, we're trying to get back to the room. Me, Allie, and Fish and Jen, we were in another hotel, so we had to take an Uber over there, but we had to get our stuff from the room that we were hanging out in, and the door was locked, so we couldn't get in. So for like an hour and a half, we just had a pizza party, like in the casino hallway, and it was like one of those moments like you think like this isn't real right now, but it was. And it was so crazy because of course we're being loud out there. This woman comes out, super nice too. Like we thought for sure she was gonna be like, "What are you guys doing?" Blah blah blah. But she came out, "You guys okay?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're just locked out." Blah blah blah. She's like, "All right, no, you're fine. Just letting you know." And you know what? In the background, shout out this woman. I didn't see it personally, but the rumors were that she had a butt naked guy on the bed waiting for her. So shout out her, man. She was a great woman.
Nice. Because as soon as you said that, I was like, that I probably would have wanted to kill you guys.
Yeah. No, I was concerned about it. I was like, oh, this is not good. I was like, this is not good at all. But
it's always good when you get that reassurance, though, that you're like,
yeah,
it's like a wellness check and not like a, hey, I called the security on you.
that would have been awful morale. That would have been bad morale. But everything worked out well, and it ended up being a good time. And it again, here we go with the example you were given about the 16-year-olds. You could have just let them all win. Really, probably wouldn't have been significant to anyone. But instead, you decided to whoop all their asses, and now it's a story. We could have just went to Atlantic City, gambled a little, and went home. But instead, we had a pizza party. And even though it wasn't the best situation, it was still fun, and it's pod worthy to talk about.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, it's like the time shared with your friends more than it being a bad situation.
Exactly.
I think when
Yeah.
you get, I think it's important to be able to separate. Excuse me. I think it's important to be able to separate like the stress in situations like that, where it's like, if you turn that into a fun situation, it's a fun situation. But if you're gonna sit there and fucking continue to be like, God, this is taking so long. God,
Yeah.
can we just get in the room? It's gonna be annoying as fuck.
Yeah, no, I agree. The situation's all what you make about it. And luckily, I feel like I am surrounded with people who do prefer to do that, or rather than like you're saying, just like harp on it, be upset about it. It's like, hey, we're in this situation, so might as well just make it the best we can.
Yeah, I think that's like the overarching thing of like positivity versus negativity, I guess. But like, yeah, it's like it's nice to have that surrounding aura with you.
It is. It is.
I
It
gotta
was,
ask. I gotta ask something.
yeah.
What the fuck happened with your door?
It's so funny you say that. I was just looking at it recently as well.
For
So,
anyone not listening or watching, Fa has blinds on his door that goes to his balcony. It's a glass door ish. It has like the middle
Mhm,
glass. So in the sunlight, I'm sure it gets very bright. So you would need blinds all over.
yes. So yeah, so the blinds on the door are a little messed up. I do take full responsibility for that. Allie is upset because we weren't really sure how the blinds were falling off, but then came to realize, you know, when I drink a little bit, I get really clumsy and I just bang in the stuff. So then Allie literally watched me the one night, like try to walk out the door and like hit the door and literally watch one of the blinds fall. And, just a couple drunk nights later, that's how they can look. So
I keep getting phone calls. What the hell is going on? Like from like random numbers.
how many have you gotten? A few?
That's the second this pod alone.
Scammers, man. Dude, we
It
should have a
really
whole
is.
scamming section. Have you ever watched those? Like when the
Yes,
scammed call
they
the
call back.
scammers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I went on a little weird, it's funny, a weird moment in my life. Last year, I worked for this, like a phone call company. Like I'd be on the phones for 8 hours a day and I hated every second of it. But, I was really into, for some reason, like for a little bit on YouTube and stuff, watching people do that, like watching like, people trying to scam someone, but like it's a prank because like they know how to not get scammed, so then they scam the scammer, if that makes sense. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm
No,
it's
I
like
know exactly what you're talking
it's
about.
called like dicking with scammers or whatever. And
Dicking with scammers.
and I would watch that while I would be like on the phone with people, but I had to stop watching it because then I felt like I wasn't scamming them, but I felt like I was because like just the way I would talk, I feel like I'd like mimic words that this guy's using. I'm like, wait, like this is a legit thing. Like they're calling
Saying
us.
that makes it sound way worse.
I know.
This is legit.
This is legit. But no, it was just a dumb, stupid job. But we got out of it. That had some weird times too. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. But what was I just saying? Actually, I totally forget.
I got what you were saying. We were saying, what, dude?
What? Do you have a what, dude? No, I forgot.
Our what, dude, this week is that we even showed up to do this.
We showed up to do this for all the
this is for haters that said we couldn't. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no. This is for all the followers out there. We did this Monday night. We whooped some 16-year-olds in ping pong. I didn't, but
I feel like you could take a quotable out of this podcast technically, and it could say, "We whooped some 16-year-olds." Keith Bob.
Jeez. Oh my god. But no, dude, I love the ping pong stories, and dude, we're gonna be hopefully chatting again this Thursday.
Yeah, now it'll actually feel like we've not talked for years on this next one. So
thank
God. Yeah, and it's funny, like I feel like every week doing it on Thursday, it sneaks up on me. And last week was like the one week where I was like, I got everything lined up. I didn't schedule an appointment on Thursday specifically to be ready for it. Like
no appointments.
But yeah, I'm glad we snuck this in finally. After we get done this, I'll edit it and get it up there.
Sounds good, man. Love it. I can't wait to see you on Thursday.
Yeah, man. We'll talk on Thursday. That's it. You got you're tapped, right?
I'm good, dude. I feel like this has been a great pod. It went into a lot of avenues that I didn't expect as usual. And always turns out the best that way, though.
It does. I again thoroughly enjoy the time. We'll call it there. It's a real one.
Also,
End on that note.